Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone had a terrific weekend. All access customers yesterday squeezed out a little bit more of a profit. We had to wait to the end of the day, but Oklahoma City came through and allowed us to squeeze more profit out of Sunday. But we're still looking for that massive day. But of course, as long as we're building bankroll, I guess that's really all that matters. But I want to have that massive day, and it's coming. It will come. It always does at some point. But still, we'll take the profit over the weekend, be happy with it, and being in the black is always good. So not going to complain, but always looking for that big score, and we'll try to get that on today. So welcome to Against the Public. I'm Dana Lane for March 4th. And we are on the verge of a massive month. I feel like this month is going to be terrific, and we've had a great 2024 so far, and we'll get into that a little bit later. We are the only show to analyze early betting patterns by the public, and we've done that once again with 3 free NBA plays for Monday as we go for our 9th winning card in the last 12 days. Before I get to our free plays, I have a college basketball 3-pack locked and loaded. Yep, we switched them today. College basketball pass locked and loaded on the website. Get 3 of my top college basketball plays for one low price, $49.99. Always is that price. And of course, that comes with our Pick Dawgz win guarantee that states you must profit or receive an immediate site credit for the purchase price. And of course, in addition to that 3-pack, we always have those all-access packages locked and loaded. And I know you guys have sent me some messages today in regards to those. And I just, anytime I get a question, I like to answer it publicly as well, because maybe everybody's thinking that as well. And I with the all-access passes, I get some people asking me, well, shoot, it seems like you're giving out a lot of plays per day. And what I try to do, because I handicap both the NBA and college basketball and the NHL, so that's the 3 sports that are going on right now. Major League Baseball is coming up, and I try to give 3 plays per day per sport. And I think that, if you're paying a bunch of money, which you are for the all-access pass, then you deserve my top plays in every sport. So that's why you give those. And my suggestion is, if it is a little bit too much, you will get at least 9 plays a day. But if it's a little bit too much, just reduce your unit size. You also notice that the games are staggered, so you're not going to have like 9 games going at one time. They are staggered from morning to night for 2 reasons. So A, you can manage your bankroll, and B, so you can have games all day and into the night until the final whistle. So that's why I do it the way I do. In my mind, it's giving you as much as I can for what you are giving back to me without being excessive, not putting up 20, 25 plays a day. But I think it's a fair amount, and it's not like we put up 10 plays in college basketball. Even in Saturday, there was a massive card Saturday. So we had 6 college basketball plays that we put up, but normally that's not it's not what we do. So at least during the week, it's not. 4 at the most, usually 3. So I don't know. I thought that's good, and I really have an opinion on every game, just because I go through my sequence with every single game, and then I kind of pull out the ones that is returning the best numbers, or it makes me at least analytically feel I'm on the right side, or maybe some information that I was fortunate enough to obtain. So let me know about that stuff. I'm just, trying to give you more bang for the buck. And of course, as I pointed out, if the all-access pass is a little bit too much, or maybe you don't like betting one sport over the other, I've added some new packages. So every sport has some sort of a breakdown, whether it's an NBA three-day pass or an NHL week pass, college basketball 30-day pass. It's some sort of a breakdown, so you can find something that you want. Now, if there is something up there or not something up there, but you were like, man, I'd really could you do like a 30-day NHL college basketball thing or a 30-day college basketball NBA? Yeah, I can put that up there if it makes sense, and I'd be more than happy. I'm not trying to keep anything from anybody. It's if you present something to me and it makes sense, absolutely, I'll put it up. I have no problem doing that, because bottom line is getting winners, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So if you're not an all-access customer yet, please get involved. 30-day all access pass, $11 a day. 90-day pass is less than $10 a day. And an all access annual pass, $3.56 a day. Ensure that you will never miss another best bet from me from any sport again. If you're not an all access pass member yet, here are the reasons why you should, if you give me a second to indulge. All access customers have cashed 56% of their plays over the last 30 days. That's number one amongst cappers with at least 200 plays. 1,894 units won. In 2024, we've accumulated 3,252 units of profit, which is ranked number one in 2024. So, yeah, you might be getting a lot of plays, but we're absolutely smashing bookmakers this year, as evident by my number one ranking at this time. In the NBA, 59.1% winners the last 7 days, 56% NBA winners over the last 30 days, 55% NBA winners over the last 90 days, plus 1,288 units in that span, 1,301 units won in 2023 and 24 overall. In college basketball, 59% winners, plus 1,373 units over the last night, or check that over the last week, I think it is. I mean, that number that came up, I'm not sure about that, what that pertains to. But I do know 1,051 units over the last 90 days won, and 1,341 units in 2023-24. No matter how you slice it, I think that college basketball is over the last 30 days. So the 59% winners over the last 30 days. But any way you slice it, we're crushing college basketball. We're crushing the NBA. The names all over the leaderboard. Make sure you get involved in an all-access pass right now. And when you're choosing a capper, I say this almost every day, it never matters the hype that they throw out. It only matters the numbers that they can show you. And I'm very proud to show you the numbers that we have so far in 2024. Okay. Let's get onto our 3 plays, and we switched it up a little bit because, number one, I'm smoking hot in college basketball right now. Really good in the NBA too, but I thought maybe we switch it up just to give everybody, free plays in the NBA and college basketball. So let's go to our free play. Number one, 7:30 Eastern Time, 501, 502. Memphis Grizzlies at the Brooklyn Nets. Nets minus 8.5, 211.5 is your total. Now, this total at 210.5 is your total. Was 211.5. This number is going bonkers since opening up. We looked at an opening total in this game at 212.5. At some establishments. That has now been bet down to 210.5. There's still some 211s, but 210.5 now is your consensus number. And of course, this made me go down a numbers path, because when I see a number that's crazy like this, I'm like, okay, where are the records, or what is the record when we've seen numbers like this? And so the parameters that I set was, what is the record when a total is between 208.5, which is the lowest total that has been recorded or has been presented this year in the NBA, 208.5 and 215, which is a really low total. Well, the over in those in that parameter, or using those numbers, the over is 24-19 this year, and over the last 3 years, the over is 170 and 157. Using the numbers 208.5 and 215. Now, I could have condensed it down a little bit more, but I got to sleep at some point today. And then when it pertains to these two teams, over the last 3 years, Memphis is 13-10 when the total is 208.5 to 215, and Brooklyn is the number one team overall using those numbers. They're 13-6 to the over, 5.76 units won. So both of these teams and overall in the league point to the over. That's what we're going to do. Not only that, 86% of the early tickets are on the under. So maybe this number is going to come down just a little bit more. But it's already bounced around. The juice has gone wild at a couple of these places, but right now the consensus number is 210.5, so that is the number we will use on this game. We're going to go over that total. Game number 2, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5:05, 5:06, Portland Trailblazers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. T-Wolves minus 14.5, 212.5 is your total. Another low total here, but we're going to go side here. Let's see how far. I know it's Charlotte, but when you're the Blazers and you get 2 wins on the road, and not only 2 wins, you get 2 covers. And not only did you get 2 covers, I mean, you smoked them game 1, but game 2, that game, I mean, you really snatched, if you're Portland, you snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat because Charlotte had a pretty big lead in pretty late into that game, and then Portland came back and won that game. Not only won, but also covered that game. Minnesota has failed to cover 4 straight games, 5 of their last 6, including Sunday as a 2.5-point favorite and a 1-point loss to the Clippers. Talk about another number that went nuts because we talked about, or I put that game up on the website, and at the time, the Clippers were a point favorite, so I had them minus the 1.5-point favorite, so that was a loss on the website. But as the game went on and as the day went on, of course they became the underdog, which actually cashed a ticket. So some people got a real good benefit there because not only did they cash a ticket with the Clippers, but they also got the site credit because 2 of the 3 games did not come through in the NBA. So they got the site credit there, but in reality, the Clippers were a winner when the final whistle went off. Anyway, I think we're going to see Minnesota looking ahead. They have a stretch of games where they play Indiana, they play Cleveland, they also play the Los Angeles Lakers. I think Portland is just good enough defensively. They allow the 4th lowest amount of field goals attempted in the league, 5th in 3-point field goal percentage allowed, and 4th in 3-point shots made. So I think, listen, this team is in the league, and we'll talk about one here in a second, that I think they quit. I never felt that about Portland. They may not have the talent, but I never really felt like, hey, look, this team's going to quit. So don't put your money behind a team that's going to quit. And like I said before, I think Minnesota's going to look ahead. I think 14.5 is way too much. Maybe we'll be looking at a 15 before tip-off. But we're going to take Portland plus the 14.5. And then game number 3, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, 5:07, 5:08, Washington Wizards versus the Utah Jazz. And we see right now the Jazz are -6 and 240 is your total. You guys have been watching me long enough to know, and I've said this 100 times. I will hardly ever put my money behind the Washington Wizards, and not because they haven't been competitive against the spread this year. They really have, based upon their record. I mean, it's been incredible, really, that they're only a game or 2 under 500 ATS. But this is a horrible organization. This has been a bad organization for almost 50 years. I think it was 46 years ago they won a title. I've been following this team very close. I mean, since I was a kid, and I can tell you from the people that are inside that organization that cover that team, it's just the culture is not good. And there's no surprise to me that when a guy like Jordan Poole comes over to the team and doesn't play well and looks disinterested, and you can say he's averaging 17 points a game, but it's a lazy 17. It's certainly not what they expected. They wanted him to come over and be a superstar, and he absolutely has not. The organization is so bad that we saw owner Ted Leonsis say that he was thinking about moving him out of D.C. May not be the worst move. It's just there's something there that they can't get over. Nobody wants to go to play there. The fan base is, really doesn't even. The Wizards are such a distant thought in that town behind the Commanders and the Nationals. It's not even really close. That has not been a fan base that has been good since probably Gilbert Arenas was there. When Gilbert was there, it was a little bit of life there, but unfortunately injuries took their toll not only on Gilbert, but his team at the time, and years where they were really good enough. There was a time, not that I'm going off on this, sorry, there was a time where they fielded 3 All-Stars on the court at one point. I mean, they had a really good team, but since that point, it just really since Gilbert went down with a knee injury, they just it's still not been good. Washington is the worst rebounding team in the league. They don't have anyone to lean on when they get behind. Yeah, I know Kuzma's had a pretty good year, but just not a guy that I think is going to say, hey, look, get on my back. I'm going to lead you to a W. So we're going to take Utah -6 here. This is always a no-brainer with me. for the most part when the Wizards are playing. So that's your third free game. That does it for your free plays for Monday. Go to pickdawgz.com right now. I got my college basketball 3-pack. We smoked them last night. 3 out of 4 winners in college basketball, and that 3-pack also cashed as well. So great night, great weekend in college basketball. Happy about that. $49.99 gets you all 3 plays for one low price. And of course, that always has the Pick Dawgz win guarantee. If you don't want to do that, please, again, get involved with my All Access Pass. You can get all those college basketball plays. You can get the NBA plays for tomorrow. You get the NHL plays, and you can ride right into baseball season. If you get an annual pass, you'll ride right through football season, which we were phenomenal in last year. So anyway, I appreciate everybody that's gotten involved. All those numbers that I've given out and all those records I've given out, please go to pickdawgz.com. They are all up there and updated every single day. We are probably the most transparent site out there, which is why I chose and continue to be with Pick Dawgz, because I like that transparency for better or worse. So let's recap our free plays one more time. Memphis, Brooklyn over 210.5. Portland plus 14, and Utah minus the 6. So that does it for tonight's show. Thank you to everybody who helps continue to help this show grow. I appreciate each and every one of you. For Against the Public, I'm Dana Lane. Let's crush them again on Monday.